Welcome to ReGrind Weekly Reflections. I am Linda O. Take a breath and let's pause. And let's have a moment on this weekly reflection. Something I started noticing through conversations and interactions last year was how often we overanalyze things. We spend so much time trying to figure things out that we end up making them more complicated than they were ever meant to be. And it's not that we can't accept what's in front of us, we just keep pulling it apart. I kept seeing people spend more time trying to understand things instead of actually moving on them. And at some point, it hit me. There was a word for it: intellectualization. And what really caught my attention was realizing I had done the same thing before. There was a time in my life when I used my intellect not to move forward, but to overthink, overprocess, and overcomplicate things. And intellectualization doesn't feel bad. It actually feels responsible and good. It feels like I'm being wise, I'm being careful. But a lot of times we're not being wise, we're just interfering, because more thinking doesn't add clarity, more talking doesn't add confirmation, and more analyzing doesn't move you any closer to actually walking something out. It usually just adds noise. We overthink what didn't need thinking, we overcomplicate what was already whole, and sometimes we dilute what we were supposed to carry exactly as it was given. And if we're honest, a lot of that comes from wanting things to make sense to us before we trust them. And that's really where the overthinking starts. We want it to make sense. We keep trying to make it make sense to us. We explain it, we justify it, we analyze it from every angle, not because it isn't clear, but because we want to understand it before we trust it. And sometimes what we're trying to make sense of was never meant to be figured out first. It was meant to be walked out. But some of the things we receive, ideas, directions, and visions, are actually very simple. They are what they are. And all that's required is movement, not dissecting it, not reshaping it, not overthinking it, not overworking it. Just walk it out. So instead of receiving it, we start managing it. And I really want to encourage you, don't overcomplicate what was never meant to be complicated. Take what comes your way and reflect on it. Sit with it long enough to understand how you're supposed to walk it and not how you're supposed to change it, because reflection is different from revision. Reflection lets it settle. Revision usually comes from trying to make it feel safer, look different. And most of the time, what you received isn't missing anything. It just needs room to manifest. So let me ask you something. What's been on your mind lately that you've been dissecting? You've added to it, removed from it, reworked it, reworded it, and you've even tried to move on it, but it's just not happening. Is it possible you've overcomplicated what was originally plain? Do you need to go back to the first version of it, the original version, the original vision, the original nudge, as simple as it was? Maybe today the work is in adding more. Maybe it's doing less overthinking, less explaining, less intellectualizing, and more trusting, more listening, and more movement, because what was given doesn't need to be fixed. It just needs space and obedience. If this reflection spoke to you, feel free to share it with someone who may need it. And if you'd like to continue reflecting with us, you can find ReGrind Weekly Reflections wherever you listen to podcasts, or follow ReGrindFactor for more. Thank you for reflecting with me. Until next time, renew, refocus, and rise.